Well, it's also going to be a very bleak and miserable place if no one's had any education for a year. I think the most startling thing that came out of the press conference that Boris Johnson did last night alongside Vallance and Whitty was not that 1 in 50, according to the ONS estimates, now have COVID. Everyone, by the way, forgets it's an estimate. It's not proven. ONS estimate. It's what they stated. But that the Prime Minister could not confirm with any confidence that schools would be back before the summer holidays. It amazed me that a journalist actually asked that. I would have thought asking about the Easter holidays. That means children will not be in school again until this September. That will mean, other than one term they've been in, they will have missed a whole year of school. Is this even acceptable? Is it justifiable? Robert Halfon is chair of the Education Select Committee. Tory MP for Harlow joins us now. Good morning to you, Robert. Were you shocked when you heard that?
I was, because the Prime Minister says that he wants to level up, but we're in danger of levelling down in terms of education and destroying children's life chances and stopping them climb the ladder of opportunity. And we were told just on Monday night by the Prime Minister that the schools would open again after the half term, and that should be signed in blood. It shouldn't just be a guideline.
I mean, yeah, and that is the real worry, isn't it? There's been a lot of talk about what's going to happen with the exams. I mean, I've been very concerned about, I think it's very important that exams do happen, GCSEs and A-levels. If they are cut for another year, you know what? That's the least of our problems. I'd rather that the children got taught. There's been a lot of focus on that. But the idea that best part of 10 million children shouldn't get full teaching every day in a classroom for an entire year, which is what it will be in the end, because they missed the whole summer term last year. They're going to miss it, it would appear, the next 2 terms this year. That for a whole year, given that parents get fined 60 quid if their kid misses a day to go on holiday to Disneyland, for goodness sake, the idea that they're missing that lessons, and you and I both know more than 4.2 million children in the first lockdown didn't get any teaching worth having. Some actually none at all during that time. Is the government overreacting, do you think? Do you think that the parents support this? Do you think most teachers support this?
Well, just to give you a grim statistic, the Chief Inspector of Schools says that 1 day of school closures nationally is 40,000 child years in total. That's just one day. I want the schools to be open. I asked the Prime Minister this last night in the meeting that he had with backbench Conservative MPs. If schools are going to remain closed up until half term, what they should be doing is, one, rolling out the testing regime for pupils and staff efficiently, but also roll out a vaccination scheme for teachers and support staff, not because I favour one group of workers over another, but if it means that the schools can open early and children can be back learning where they should be, then I think that the vaccination for teaching staff would be a good thing.
Well, I mean, not ahead of the over 70s who actually are more likely to die of the virus. I mean, frankly, no.
No. I think they should be. I agree. Absolutely. Let's look after the elderly and the vulnerable first, but they should be vaccinated alongside NHS workers. If it was done properly, it could
But
be
they're not
done
at high risk. They're not at high risk. Why?
Because
the stage are very clear. 4th of November, their report. Teachers have no higher rates of infection or death than any other workers.
Well, exactly, which is why I wanted the schools to remain open. But the issue is that when teachers self-isolate for one reason or other, or if there is a COVID outbreak, it means that pupils are sent home. And just before Christmas, there were 800,000 pupils who had been sent.
Yeah, but that was supposed to be solved by the rapid flow tests, wasn't it? The lateral flow rapid tests. You get 2 tests of that. Teachers could be off 1-2 days maximum, back in school, not a problem.
But it doesn't work like that, because pupils will still be sent home, and classrooms will be sent home, bubbles will be sent home. All I want is the children to be back in school, and if vaccination means the kids can be back in school, I think it is worth it. But what I'd also like to see, we know that hundreds of thousands of pupils don't have proper internet connection at home or a computer, even with the government laptop scheme. So why the education secretary should say to those kids who don't have computers at home that they should be able to go to school now alongside the children of key workers and vulnerable children, because we have to keep all our children educated. We know that remote learning will be pretty patchy.
Yeah, but indeed, we know that something like 1.8 million don't have access to, as you say, they're missing either the laptop, the iPad. If maybe there's one in the family, but there's only one, and there are three kids and the like. The government said in the first lockdown, my God, you and I talked about this virtually every day. They were going to hand out all those laptops and iPads. I can go online and buy this stuff really easily. Hundreds of thousands of these things are sold constantly. Apparently, the government is totally incapable of buying this stuff. We know that schools, even in the autumn term when they returned, when they had to self-isolate pupils, that they still didn't have a rollout. They'd been given sort of, a couple of dozen iPads per school. Well, we've got hundreds upon hundreds of children in every school who are now going to need these. Why has the government not rolled these out?
Well, the government say they've sent out 500,000 laptops, but it's taken months to arrive. What I would like to have happened is just for the
What postal
literally
service are they using? Second class? I mean, how slow is second class?
yeah, they say that they had to the computers had to be made and so on. What should have happened, I think, is that vouchers should have been given to head teachers to go down to their local Currys and buy Chromebooks for £200. They're very cheap, and they're very good computers for the kids. Now, that may not have been able to happen everywhere, but if we had just given the money to the head teachers or vouchers, they could have done a deal with Currys or Argos or whatever it may be, and the computers could have arrived much more quickly.
It's not beyond the wit of man, is it? It really isn't. Halfon, just finally, if kids don't go back to school until next September, how worried are you for the future of the children of this country? I mean, my kid will be fine. Your kids will be fine. Lots of middle class parents' kids will be absolutely fine. Working class kids at home with homes where parents really care about that, and they've got a great school delivering great Zoom lessons. They'll probably be okay as well. But there are millions of children who are going to miss out. Well, what are your concerns?
Well, this is why I don't understand the policy on schools. I think everything is focused on the economy and health, and education is forgotten about. And as I mentioned, Prime Minister says levelling up, but in reality, we will be levelling down. We will destroy the life chances of these children. They will be months, if not years, behind in terms of academic attainment. We already know that disadvantaged pupils, even without the coronavirus, 18 months behind their better off peers behind by the time they get to GCSEs. And all we're going to do is exacerbate educational inequality and disadvantaged pupils. They won't get jobs. They won't have the skills that they need. And we will be dealing with this for months to come, even after the coronavirus has long gone.
I fear it lasts years and decades to come.